Yo, Hook Creek, Merrick Boulevard.
You think Valley Stream is a bad neighborhood? That's a ductless mini split condenser bolted to the side of the building with chains. And you wonder why, after 12 years, I ripped my company out of Valley Stream into Woodmere. Not only is the village anti-business with their fees and their fines and their just heinous, ridiculous rules that are anti-business, the crime in certain parts of Valley Stream is literally off the hook. Off the hook! Unbelievable. That's a perfect example. Huh. I've mentioned this on the Pipe Doctor YouTube channel, and I probably mentioned this on the Uncensored channel. But about almost 2 years ago, after being in Valley Stream for over a decade, right? I believe I was a good neighbor. You know what? They like to sodomize businesses with these mercantile fees, right? Where you got to pay $95 to have a mercantile certificate, that this decal that goes on the window of your business, public-facing window of your business, so you know that way they can know that they raped you for $95. All right? So I paid that finally like 7 years after they were hounding me, like, oh, you're going to get a violation for not paying us $95 to operate a business in the village of Valley Stream, right? So finally, after 7 years, actually the code enforcement guy was coming one morning, and he was like, hey, listen, Mike, you know, I know you've been here for a while. Like, you got to pay them, otherwise I'm going to have to fine you for not paying $95, you know, to run a business in the village of Valley Stream so you can have a decal on your window. And I said, okay, you know what? No problem. Let me give you $95 cash right now. Right? I gave him $100, C note, right? And a week later, you're not going to believe what occurred next. A week later, I got 3 decals in the mail, all for the same period of time, and all addressed to Pipe Doctor at 80 East Hawthorne Avenue in Valley Stream. Is that like the world's biggest FU? Right? That's like, yeah, this is how wasteful we are when we take your money. Unbelievable. But the problem started, and what broke the camel's back with the massive straw was the sanitation people who would come on Mondays and Thursdays to pick up the garbage. And I put everything in contractor bags, you know, not that many. You know, if I had a toilet to get rid of, I would bring it to Gershow across the street, you know, the scrap yard across the street, and I would, you know, pay them, or I would, most of the time we'll give them like the little scrap metal, you know, from boilers, and it's like, yeah, don't worry, keep it, right? So they wouldn't really charge me that much. But what the hell's going on here? Oh, so I'm making a left. The you know, the savages that walk the streets, you know, as they're walking to the scrapyard, they would rip open the contractor bags quite frequently, and I have to rebag them and what have you. And if I put it out the night before, you know, I'll get, you know, a warning or a summons that, oh, my garbage is out the day before, you know, and it wasn't out the day before. Listen, we leave the office at 3 or 4 o'clock, so I'm putting it out when we close business. That way, if they take it before we open up in the morning, the garbage men take the garbage. Nonsense like that, right? The sanitation department started refusing to take the garbage, saying it's construction waste. And they told me to get a dumpster. Right? So what I do? I get myself a dumpster. I call Winners Brothers, and for $175 a month, they will empty the small, I think, 5-yard dumpster that's on wheels, and they'll empty it once a week. Right? So, you know, I have a small little cement slab poured next to our fenced-in yard where we keep the scrap metal and stuff like that. And one day, the code enforcement guy, one morning, code enforcement guy comes over, is like, listen, we're getting complaints from the neighbors because your dumpster people are coming like at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, didn't realize that, but you know what? This is a zoned industrial area, and across the street is residential, right? So, but you know what? I'll reach out to the carting company and see if they can come during the day. Well, no, they didn't do that. And then a month later, I got a summons for having a dumpster without a permit decal on it. Yep. And then a summons for pouring a cement slab without a construction permit. Yep. So my building is in a zoned industrial area of Valley Stream, right? Because that's how it's zoned, because adjacent to my property is the Long Island Railroad right-of-way, right? And my property, along with everyone on my strip, almost a half a mile of properties from Rockaway Avenue all the way to Sattery Avenue, right, is all zoned industrial. We have a cement ready-mix business, a manufacturing plant for cement, a ready-mix, literally adjacent to my property. We have a chemical warehouse next to my property where they mix chemicals, right? Yet you're going to give me a ticket for having a dumpster without the decal. So I got to pay you to have a dumpster, which, for take the garbage, which the taxes that I'm paying, you guys won't take. Does that make any fucking sense, Valley Stream? So I just wanted to give you guys a little rant about how pathetic the government of the village of Valley Stream is. And it's comical that there's a advertising on one of the entranceways into the village of Valley Stream. We have the Chamber of Commerce sponsored all this stuff, which I was part of at the time, by the way. And it was voted the best village in the state of New York. What a joke. The village of Valley Stream just wants to sodomize you. Yeah, good thing I left. And now my tax dollars go to the town of Hempstead.